Hello, everyone. In this lecture, I am going to explain line by line the poem Single by Sylvia Plath. But before I start, let me give you a brief idea about the poem. This poem is about a perfectionist woman who feels uncomfortable with the wildness and disorder of love and nature. She prefers control, calmness, and emotional restraint, qualities symbolized by winter, and she rejects the chaos, warmth, and passion symbolized by spring. The poem beautifully shows how fear of emotional disorder and vulnerability can make someone isolate themselves from love and life itself. Now let's go through it line by line. But this picky girl? The poem begins by describing the main character, a picky girl, which means a young woman who is extremely choosy, selective, and hard to please. The word picky suggests that she has very high standards and wants everything, including love, nature, and emotions, to be perfect and orderly. Sylvia Plath uses this phrase to immediately show us the girl's personality. She is someone who dislikes imperfection, spontaneity, or anything messy. So in simple words, this line introduces a girl who is overly particular and perfectionistic, someone who cannot easily accept the natural flaws of life and love. On a ceremonial walk in April. In this line, Sylvia Plath tells us that the picky girl is taking a ceremonial walk, which means a walk that is formal, serious, or symbolic, almost like a ritual rather than a relaxed stroll. The word ceremonial suggests that the girl treats even simple, natural moments with stiffness and control. She does not walk freely, but with a sense of duty or performance. The setting is April, the month of spring, which symbolizes new life, love, growth, and natural beauty. However, this lively and blossoming season clashes with the girl's nature. She prefers order and neatness, not the wild energy of spring. With his last suitor, this means she is walking with her latest admirer or lover, the man who is currently courting her. The use of the word last suggests she has had others before and none have satisfied her, probably because of her demanding and perfectionist nature. And then says, was suddenly struck intolerably. In this line, Sylvia Plath describes a sudden and overwhelming reaction from the girl. The word struck means she is suddenly hit or shocked emotionally, not physically. The addition of intolerably means that what she feels is too much to bear. Something disturbs her so deeply that she cannot stand it. This moment shows how sensitive and perfectionist the girl is. She cannot tolerate anything that feels chaotic or imperfect. Instead of enjoying the beauty of spring, she feels attacked by it, by the irregular hubbub of the birds. Now she explains what disturbed the picky girl so deeply. The word hubbub means a noisy confusion or loud commotion, and irregular means not steady or not in order. So the girl is upset by the chaotic and unorganized sounds of the birds singing in spring. Instead of finding the bird songs joyful or natural, she feels irritated and disturbed by their unpredictable noise. This reaction shows how much she dislikes disorder or anything that breaks her sense of control and calm. In simple words, the poet means that the girl is annoyed by the noisy and messy chirping of the birds, which she finds unpleasant and unbearable because it doesn't follow any perfect pattern. And then says, and through the disorder of the leaves, she continues to describe the girl's growing discomfort with the chaotic natural world around her. The phrase disorder of the leaves means that the leaves are scattered or moving wildly, perhaps because of the wind or the general lively energy of spring. To most people, this might seem beautiful and full of life, but to the picky girl, it feels messy and unorganized. The word disorder suggests a lack of structure or neatness, something that disturbs her sense of control and perfection. In simple words, the poet is saying that as the girl looks around, she sees the leaves moving in a confused, untidy way, and this natural mess adds to her irritation and sense of unease. Afflicted by this tumult, that the girl is deeply disturbed by the chaos around her. The word afflicted means to be troubled, pained, or emotionally disturbed by something unpleasant. And tumult means a loud confusion or noisy disorder. So the phrase means that the girl feels upset and emotionally shaken by the noisy, restless atmosphere of spring. The birds chirping, the leaves rustling, and nature bursting with life. Instead of feeling joy like most people might in this lively season, she experiences discomfort and irritation. And then says, saw her lover's gestures unbalance the air. In this line, Sylvia Plath shows how the girl's sense of order and control is disturbed, not only by nature but also by her lover. The phrase her lover's gestures refers to the movements or actions of the man she is walking with, and unbalance the air suggests that his behavior feels awkward, clumsy, or out of harmony with her strict sense of order. It's as if even the air around him becomes uneven or disturbed by his gestures. In simple words, the girl notices that the man's movements seem messy or uncontrolled, just like the noisy birds and rustling leaves. To her, his natural, perhaps affectionate or carefree gestures seem to ruin the balance and perfection. She longs for his gait wandering, uneven. The word gait means the way a person walks. She notices that his steps are wandering and uneven, which means not perfect or graceful, and this annoys her. To her, even such a small imperfection feels unbearable. And then says, through a row of ferns and flowers. It means that her lover walks through a path lined with ferns and flowers, symbols of spring growth and romance. However, for her, these beautiful natural things only increase her sense of disorder, and doesn't see beauty, only chaos and imperfection. She judged the petals in disarray. It means that she looks at the scattered flower petals and calls them in disarray, which means messy or untidy. She literally judges nature for being imperfect. She cannot tolerate the natural randomness that others might find poetic or lovely. And then says, the whole season neglected. In this line, Sylvia Plath shows how the girl feels that everything around her the entire spring season has fallen into disorder and carelessness. The word neglected means ignored or not properly cared for. So the girl thinks that spring itself has lost its beauty and discipline. To her perfectionist mind, the natural messiness of spring, the scattered petals, noisy birds, and wild growth seems like a sign that the season is lazy or untidy. How she longed for winter, then. In this line, Sylvia Plath shows the girl's desire for order, control, and calm. The word longed means to deeply wish for or yearn for something. Winter, in her mind, represents strictness, discipline, and predictability, the opposite of the chaotic spring around her. She prefers the cold, clear, and controlled environment of winter, where everything is structured, ice and snow, black and white, emotions contained. Simply put, she wishes for a time or place where nothing is messy or unpredictable, reflecting her need for control and her discomfort with natural disorder. Scrupulously austere in its order. The word scrupulously means extremely careful and precise, and austere means plain, simple, or strict. She loves how winter is disciplined and neat. Everything is controlled, nothing out of place. And then says, white and black. It means that winter has two colors, white and black, symbolize purity, simplicity, and emotional coldness. To her, these two extremes are perfect because they have no confusion or emotional warmth in between. Ice and rock, every feeling well circumscribed. Here, Sylvia Plath continues the girl's longing for order and control. The phrase ice and rock symbolizes the rigidity, coldness, and stability of winter, unchanging and precise. The words every feeling well circumscribed mean that emotions are contained, limited, and carefully controlled, not allowed to spill over or disrupt the environment. In simple terms, the girl craves a world where everything is predictable and orderly. including her own feelings. And the cold discipline of the heart. This means her heart follows discipline, strict self-control. The word cold shows her emotional distance. She wants to be free from passion and vulnerability, even if it means losing warmth and love. Exact like a snowflake. She compares this ideal state of perfection to a snowflake. Delicate, symmetrical, and flawless, but also frozen and lifeless. This image captures her obsession, with beauty and precision at the cost of warmth and feeling. But here, in this line, Plath introduces a contrast to the strict order the girl longs for. The word budding refers to new growth, freshness, and the vitality of spring, things that are alive, unpredictable, and growing freely. In simple terms, it shows that despite her desire for cold control, life around her is bursting with energy and change. This budding symbolizes the arrival of love, emotion, and natural chaos that she finds difficult to manage. It sets up the conflict between her need for order and the wildness of life she encounters, turbulent enough to cast his 5 royal spirits. In this line, Sylvia Plath emphasizes the chaotic and powerful energy of the man or love that the girl observes. The word turbulent means wild, disorderly, and full of movement, showing that he is unpredictable and emotionally intense. The phrase 5 royal spirits comes from an old idea in physiology that humans have 5 vital spirits or energies controlling motion and life. Simply put, Plath is saying that his energy is so strong and wild that it shakes everything inside him and affects the world around him. This highlights the girl's discomfort with passion and disorder, which contrasts sharply with her desire for control and stability. In a vulgar variegation, she continues to describe the chaotic and uncontrolled nature of the man's energy. The word vulgar here means crude or unrefined, while variegation refers to a mixture of different colors or elements. Together, vulgar variegation suggests a disorderly, messy mix of emotions, gestures, or actions that the girl finds overwhelming and unpleasant. Simply put, she sees his lively and passionate behavior as a chaotic and unsettling mix that clashes with her desire for order and control, making the situation unbearable for her. Unbearable betrayal. She feels that spring's beauty is a betrayal. It offends her ideals of simplicity, order, and restraint. Emotion and passion are unbearable to her. That the idiots and stagger stunned in the spring ruckus. Here, Sylvia Plath expresses the girl's intense frustration and sense of being betrayed by the chaos of spring and the men around her. The phrase unbearable betrayal shows that she feels deeply let down, as if the disorder of nature and people's careless behavior go against her desire for control and order. Idiots refers to those who are oblivious to her feelings, and stagger stunned emphasizes their clumsy, awkward reactions in the lively chaos. The spring ruckus means the noisy, unruly activity of the season, birds, leaves, flowers, and men all in disarray. In simple words, she is overwhelmed and disappointed by how out of control everything and everyone seems in springtime, which contrasts with her desire for strict order. She withdrew skillfully. The girl takes deliberate action to remove herself from the chaos around her. The word withdrew means she retreats or steps back, and skillfully shows that she does this with careful precision and control. In simple words, she intentionally distances herself from the disorder of spring and the disruptive people, protecting her own sense of order and calm. It highlights her desire to maintain control over her environment and emotions. And then says, and round her house she set up such a barricade of obstacles and barbed wire. In these lines, the girl creates a strong barrier around herself, both physically and metaphorically. The phrase barricade of obstacles and barbed wire suggests she is protecting herself from anyone who might disturb her peace or intrude on her controlled world. In simple words, she surrounds herself with defenses, keeping out chaos, unwanted emotions, or disruptive people. It emphasizes her determination to maintain order and shield herself from the unpredictability of the outside world. Against the mutinous season is spring, again, called mutinous because it rebels against her desire for calm and control. To her, spring is like a revolution of life, color, and feeling, something she must fight against. That no insurgent man could hope to break it by swearing, fist, threat, not even out of love. In these last lines, Sylvia Plath emphasizes the girl's firm and impenetrable defense. The word insurgent refers to anyone rebellious or disruptive, and she believes that no man, no matter how forceful, swearing, fist, threat, can penetrate her carefully constructed barrier. Even love, which is usually gentle or persuasive, cannot overcome her defenses. In simple terms, she has protected herself so completely that she cannot be swayed or harmed by anyone, showing her determination to remain in control and preserve her emotional order. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture, but please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.